Hi guys, welcome to the vlog, and this is gonna be a new series in my YouTube, and I finally convinced my two sisters to join with me. Because me, Bella, and Pia, we always talk, diba? When the kids are sleeping.
No, we talk all the time.
So we were thinking, why not do something, especially that this is the time that we talk, right? And it's February, and I was thinking, let's talk about love.
No.
My story is so much different from theirs, okay? I grew up very differently from them because I'm the eldest in the family, and Sofia is the youngest. And guess what? We're like 15 years apart.
Yeah.
We're 12 years
Go
apart.
middle children.
How old are you again? I forgot.
19.
She's 19 and you are?
21.
Okay, and they've been single since birth.
SSB!
You know what? I have to learn all those
I
more
did.
languages.
SB19 though.
But somebody goes like
SB19.
I don't get it.
That's the P-pop group.
Nasa Lasagna.
It's SB19.
Okay, so SSB. These are terms that SSB ba?
Yeah. I don't know.
Single since
Okay, so
never, no boyfriend since birth. NBSB.
I know BSB.
What's BSB?
Backstreet Boys. Okay, so they've been single since birth, and I mean it's very different because me, I had a boyfriend when I was 13.
That's Ollie in how many years?
No, it's not gonna be Ollie. You know, with everything happening, like Pia and Bella, diba? Like single since birth, and people would expect at your age, you would probably have a fling or an MU, but wala, diba?
Wala.
Crush lang.
Hanggang yeah.
Ikaw.
Yeah. Why do you choose to be single?
No
Wala
one,
eh.
no one wants us.
No one wants us. No one likes us eh.
Oh, naman kayo. That's the end of this video.
Goodbye.
Yeah, so why do you choose to be single? Is it something, is it because what, mommy's strict, you can't have a boyfriend? Or is it because Bella doesn't have yet, so parang weird if Pia has?
I feel like singlehood is really like the most important part of your life.
Okay.
It's really like the part where, or the season rather, where God really gives you purpose, where He gives you identity, where He teaches you all about yourself and how to love yourself. And the season of singleness is really a time between just you and God.
And you? Why are you single?
Because she's my baby.
I'm waiting for Taya.
Who's that?
Korean.
That's
Bella.
me!
Like what Bella said, now is not the right time, at least personally, to be in a relationship because I'm still trying to figure out who I am and I don't want any one person to define that. When the time comes, parang my intention is like to date, to marry. Not really interested in
Intentional dating.
yeah, not really interested like in short-term flings or parang relationships na parang wala lang, just flirting, whatever. Because I'm like really looking at it from the point of view na parang forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to think long term. You
I think a lot of people also think long term. It just so happens that it's not the guy.
That's why before entering relationships, you really have to look at all the factors and
So how is
see.
it? Because okay, like when you say courtship, diba? That's when you really get to know the person, diba? So a lot of people jumped into it right away. Relationships.
I feel like courtship's not the word. I feel like it starts really with friendship. Like everything starts with friendship, get it?
Yeah.
From there, and you see the qualities, you see that this person is good, and like okay, puede. Then I feel like that's when courtship can start.
Are you guys happy being single? Like, is it something that parang when you watch mga teleseries like, oh, I wish that was me, or so it's now, diba? Or you see your friends, because of course, like, especially your age, diba? When you enter college, or maybe you graduated for college already, and parang you already have friends, you're exposed to these things, and sometimes it's also peer pressure, diba? So are you happy at your state right now and you're not being pressured by anyone? I want to know kasi sasapakin ko sila.
Like I mentioned earlier, the season of singleness is the most important part talaga. This season also kasi He will really show you that He can fill in all areas of your life. He can put so much joy and happiness in those areas like no human can ever. And you also have to remember kasi na parang if God is not enough, if He can't do that, then no person can ever. Kasi only God can really fill in all those areas in your life.
I think culture and media has like really associated like relationships now with fulfillment, with satisfaction, and with happiness. And at times, like when I do can't watch K-dramas, I get pressured. Like, oh my god,
Is it gonna be this? Is it all slow-mo and real?
parang daming takes, no? And with the view na relationships are is the ultimate goal. Parang being single is put in such a negative light na parang, oh, because you're single, you're lonely, or you're discontented. And that's not true, because I've seen people in relationships who are like not happy, and I've seen people who are single who are really happy, and vice versa. Parang it really depends. But being single or being in a relationship shouldn't be your gauge for na parang, oh, you've reached like this level of in your life na of satisfaction, of happiness, na parang, you know, it's like,
I think
you get
sometimes people also find it as a goal to be in a relationship, to find someone who will love you back, right? And I guess, you know, we all grew up with Disney movies, and, you know, even as a child, parang, for me, like, I always wanted to get married, diba? That was, like, something that I always wanted. And I never really understood being single or, you know, just being alone, because for me, I don't know how to be alone.
Before you get into a relationship, you just have to ask yourself, parang, what's your intention in this relationship? Parang, am I doing it, because I want to be happy?
Yeah.
Or am I looking for validation or something like that? Because being in a relationship is not about just getting and getting and getting, but rather it's the opposite. It's really
giving.
just serving and giving your love. So parang, are you ready? Are you responsible enough to do that? If you just expect to keep receiving from someone, parang, it will never be enough. Like what Bella said.
It will never fill you up, diba? That's why they always say na parang, you give what you overflow with, diba?
Yeah.
And it starts with God.
Yeah. So that's why you always go back to your source, diba? Parang a lot of us, we go into loving someone right away or looking for love, but you should always start with loving God first, and then you love yourself, and then you love other people, because you're getting it from one main source, which is God. Love flows from that source. So it's like a never-ending source of love.
So when you say loving yourself, what does it mean for you? Is that career first?
I feel like career isn't the word, but rather purpose and place. I feel like you really have to know your purpose and place in the world before actually finding your partner.
If you don't have your identity with you, parang, if you don't know who you are in God, parang, it's so easy to lose yourself. Parang, you have to be strong in your values and beliefs. If you're dating a partner and the partner wants to move in before marriage, but you're like, no, parang, are you gonna compromise or not? So parang, you have to be set on those things.
Yeah, I feel like those are like the non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Like you have to really list them down. And if your partner chooses to break one, then you already know now, okay, this is like a red flag.
Yeah, right. If your partner is not okay with those things, then parang, are you really?
So now that you're talking about that you should have, you should get to know yourself, know your values, know, you know, who you really are before you basically share your life with someone, right? So, has anybody ever courted you?
Nah, bro.
Nah, bro.
Nobody has ever courted you.
But how do you deal with confession?
You don't. You just ghost them.
Pretend I'm a guy, okay?
Oh my god, no.
Sort of hurt. But I have to talk to you. I have to tell you something. I like you.
Okay, like this. First, you have to commend them for their courage, because it takes a lot of guts to confess. I kid you not, it takes a lot. So commend them for speaking up. But you just have to respond with truth and as much honesty as possible, because if you kind of like sugarcoat it and lie and say, oh, maybe not now,
or beat around the bush,
or like I kind of don't feel like it, but we'll see, like you're still giving them like that little
hope,
glimpse of hope, and you're gonna leave them confused, and you know they'll still cling on to that. So if you don't like them, you know, straight up tell them, but in a nice way. Just don't sugarcoat it and lie.
How do you know if that guy is the one? I mean, as young as you are, how would you know, like, hey, I think he's the one?
I think peace would be the number one response to that. Peace in knowing that, okay, this person is the one that God has planned for me. Like, you're so sure. Peace knowing that, okay, you're gonna spend the rest of your life with this person. There won't be room left for doubt, because you'll really just be filled with peace that should come from God also.
Why is your hand so cold, Bella? Are you nervous?
My hand is sweaty.
First of all, the aircon is at 16 degrees. Can we just... You can tell if the relationship is from God just by the qualification na, is this relationship helping you? So there's this verse in Ecclesiastes where it said na 2 people are better than 1 if they help each other succeed. And I feel like that last part where it said na if you help each other succeed, that's a good qualification. You know, if your partner really pushes you to be stronger, to be better, to be literally the best version of yourself, then that is already a good qualification. But besides that, I feel like number 1 talaga above like all else, and you guys can agree with me, na he has to love God. And if he doesn't love God, then that's like an automatic no. It's like a big, big no. If God isn't the most important thing in his life, then you already know that his priorities aren't right. His values and his goals are very different already. And also, I feel like another factor is that he has to help you fulfill your purpose, like, you know, advance God's kingdom and all that.
To know if you're in a good relationship right now is, I guess, to look around and to see if it's bearing good fruit. Like, you know, joy, like love, peace, contentment, just bears, like, you know, bad fruit, then it will just be chaotic and
stressful and depressing.
Yeah, and probably that's just one sign.
And
already,
sometimes even a lot of people also that even sometimes if they're in a relationship, it's still lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Right?
I think it's really just be very intentional when you enter into a relationship and be careful, because like someone once told me na parang who you are, your memories, parang your values, it's like precious jewels or precious stones, and you have to be careful who you give it to, kasi if you just give it away to everyone, parang you'll be left with nothing. And parang for those people you give it to, are they worth giving it to? Will they stay in your life? Kasi if you give all these important parang information, if you give yourself to someone and they just decide to leave, but they'll always have that part of you.
Mom gave me that speech.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. She would always tell me, like, so this is your only jewels in your life. Like, decide who you want to give it to.
And also, just to add to that, imagine on your wedding day when you get married to the person that, you know, God has given you, imagine giving them like 100% of yourself, like a self that, you know, you never gave to anyone else. Like, you didn't give a bit of yourself to this guy or to this guy, but, you know, you're giving like ultimately 100%
That's so
to your husband. Like, isn't that such a good gift? Isn't that such a, like, wow, Lord,
and
thank
also
you.
for the guy, like, to give you
Yeah.
like 100% of himself.
Exactly.
It's just like,
so guard your heart.
yeah, so if you're in a relationship, you know, I hope this video really helps you. You know, maybe you're at that point in your life where you're kind of like iffy about this guy, you know, or you're just being there for the sake of being there, or, you know, maybe because you're lonely and it's pandemic and you have someone to text or FaceTime with. But you know what? Just really sit down, think about it, and say, is this really worth my time? Is this guy worth my love? You know, and it may be heartbreaking to get out of. It may be hard, but
It will be worth it.
Yeah.
For your well-being, it will be
yeah,
worth
for
it.
you. This is for you. I think this is also a time that you think about yourself, diba? That you're worth it, that you deserve better. And if you're already there, and if you found that person and you're about to get married, hi, Angel. I'm so happy for you.
Sana all.
You're part of that.
One, two,
People that
three.
talking to
Sana all.
So we're gonna wrap this up already. Do you guys have any last few words? Maybe we can finally have a name for this series.
Comment down below.
Late night with the sisters.
Don't feel any pressure to be in a relationship. Parang enjoy being single and trying to figure out who you are, what you want, and parang enjoy life without having to be responsible for someone, if that
That's
makes
true.
sense.
Yeah.
I have 3 people to be responsible.
Yeah.
It's no joke, huh?
It's okay.
It's okay.
And then this tupa.
And for those who are, you know, questioning whether or not they should enter a relationship or not, or, you know, they're questioning God if God will ever give them someone, remember that God isn't holding back all these relationships from you. Like, He is a patient and merciful God, and so He is just holding it for you, rather. So just be prepared. Always pray for your future husband, even as young as you are. Pray for them. Pray that, you know, God will provide for them. Pray that they're safe. Pray that, you know, God will really shape them into the man for you.
Mom would always tell me that parang rather than focusing on finding someone or your husband or finding that right person, why don't you become that right person for your future husband, right? So,
Word.
Okay, so thanks for hanging out with us. I'm so proud of these two girls that they're so full of wisdom, and I'm just so happy. So happy.
I'm so happy.
You're
so nice.
Anyway, this is gonna be a series, so if you guys have any suggestions on like future topics that you want or that we can talk about, maybe like career, I don't know, like
Self-worth,
or like
Feminism.
breakups or whatever,
Girl power.
whatever it is, let us know. Comment down below, and I hope
Creativity.
you learned something.
beauty, experience. Ate.
Bye,
Anyway,
guys.
my
This
steady
is
hands.
not.
This is like wait, this is our fourth extra. This is the fourth take.
I have to remove the cord.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.